Hi, this is your girl T with Rockefeller's Barbershop, located at 1733 Babcock in San Antonio, Texas. Whether you're looking for a haircut, a shave, braids, dreads, weaves, color, we do it all here at Rockefeller's. You can hit me up at 210-884-9046. That's for call or text. And on Facebook and Instagram at Takesha Williams. That's TAKESHIA Williams. And you're listening to us now on I Am Refocused podcast on iHeartRadio.
Yeah, moment of a mission, man, I'm here to get it started. Then I finish living like a legend, living like a blessing. Learn from a lesson, yearn for progression. Better every day, that's what I pray. Never stray on the highway. Today, the future, tomorrow, like another one. I ain't finna fake, I ain't finna stunt. Been down, time to come up. Stack bucks, getting out lunch. Yeah, got the keys, time to unlock. Hit 'em up, no Tupac. Been stuck in gridlock in a smart car like a matchbox. Hit it so I had the last shot. Hit it so I had the last shot. ATM, time to cash out. Been tired of being paid, check, 5 10s, 15 20s, big brands, I need big business. Entrepreneur, man, my thoughts endless. Man, my flow relentless, been held down, time to break loose. This what I choose, pay dues, due diligence. It's more than Benjamins, we reeling in, we real men. Yeah, ask about it, will I doubt me? Man, I doubt it, been body, universal master pedigree. Got the energy, they slow as Tai Chi. I'm in a fight, so bob weave, bob weave, bob weave, bob.
You are listening to I Am Refocused podcast with your host, Shamaya Reed. This podcast is designed to inspire you to live your purpose and regain your focus. Now, let's tune into today's podcast.
Hey, thank you guys for tuning in to this special podcast of I Am Refocused podcast. Today, we have one awesome guest, the one and only M.A.R.K Universe. He is a dope producer and he's from Mobile, Alabama. How you doing, sir?
Oh, I'm great, man. Doing great. How you doing?
Doing good, man. And before we even get started, man, let me give a quick shout out to our sponsors. And one of our main sponsors, man, he's been our partner, Rico Rodriguez of Rockefeller's Barbershop. He's been holding it down. We do our podcast live there every Thursday, and he's been down with us since September. Shout out to Miss Kim for River City Donuts and Baby McClinton, All Sports Speed and Conditioning, and one of our newest sponsors, D.W. Brooks Funeral Home. Just to get right back to our main guest today, M.A.R.K Universe. When did you get started with music, man? How did it all start for you? Because I know you're in the hip hop scene. Tell us, how did you get started?
Yeah, well, I started probably about 14. I mean, when I started taking it more serious, when I was actually being recorded in studios and things like that.
And
so that's, yeah.
Who inspired you to start creating?
Man, just listening to music, man. I just love music. I'm from Mobile, then I lived in Atlanta. That's where I reside now. But, people like Outkast and Hot Boyz, a lot of rap, even Tupac, people like that. I mean, just me loving the music, and that's when I started kind of dabbling, doing things like that myself, as far as rapping.
In 2012, you started your own label. And,
yeah, I did.
And what sparked that movement? Like, what inspired you to say, you know what, I want to take this as a business? What made you make that move?
What made me make that move was I just wanted to legitimize everything and just start moving forward and be able to get more serious investors and things like that and people to take it serious. And in addition to that, it was, I wasn't going to wait for someone to hand something to me. So I just decided to make sure I had the ball in my court. So, yeah.
And what was your first project? Like, who'd you collab with for the first time, or did you? Because I know you sing too, right? Is that correct?
No, I don't really consider myself a singer. I can, but not like blow anybody away. No, I just consider like just holding a tune type of thing.
I got you. What kind of artists do you like working with as far as, supplying beats for, or music production, mixing, mastering?
To be honest, like, I produce myself, you know what I mean? I don't really, like, I wouldn't really consider myself just because I don't really work with other artists like that. I hadn't really got into that, to be honest, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's mostly been me producing my own projects, and that's only because, you know, I got tired of, you know, waiting on other people, you know, and things not going right with dealing with other producers, you know. So I pretty much taught myself and started working at producing myself.
And at 14, man, you started rapping. So how did that process start? Did you just learn from someone, or did you just do all on yourself, for yourself?
No, I mean, I had a crew, you know what I'm saying, I worked with, and they pretty much put me, you know, in the studio and worked with me to help sharpen and develop me. But at that time, I wasn't really taking it serious. I didn't think it was really I could make a career out of it. I didn't really believe it. But when I did, you know, when I started really believing it was probably 2006. Like I said, eventually I just decided to make sure I get everything legitimized with the state. So I, you know, went ahead and got my business license and things like that for the label.
In 2006, moving to Atlanta in August, you started your first professional project, I'm a Superstar. Tell us about that project.
And that project, it was an EP, man. It was kind of like self-prophecy, you know what I mean? I just, even though I really hadn't completely made it, I just envisioned myself being successful, and that's kind of what I was mentioning in the project. And that was kind of like my first real project that I launched and actually got in the hands of some people that were able to put it on the radio in my area, you know, locally. I was in Atlanta, but I was getting played a lot in Alabama, and it got picked up in some other states too. So that was pretty dope. I mean, as far as working on it, it was like simple. It was just a bunch of stuff songs that I already wrote. I just put it together, you know, put the best ones together.
And you developed your name, M.A.R.K Universe, in 2007, a year later. And the acronym is standing for May a Righteous King. Explain that a little bit. How did you come up with that name?
Well, May the Righteous King, basically, you know, I was using that terminology from me changing my mindset to believing that, you know, I've been made righteous. It was almost like a confession. I mean, it is a confession, you know, and then, you know, it was an acronym. I'm like, that's cool. And a lot of people start calling me Mark, you know, so, and universe means one verse. So I say one verse of the word of God changed my life. One verse of my lyrics can make someone a fan. That's, you know, what I like to tell people when they ask me about how I came up with the name. Because una means one, you know, and verse is verse, you know, obviously. So I just said universe.
And so faith has played a role in your music career. How did you even discover faith? I grew up in the church, man, you know, and I like the podcast, first of all, because it says I am refocused, you know what I mean? And, but because I lost focus, you know, as a kid, you know, and then, you know, going to school and things like that, just kind of wanted to do my own thing, but I always had an understanding of God. But I believe that my faith is what kept me from, you know, going to jail or being killed or something like that, you know. And, you know, I try to put that in my music and try to relay some of my life experiences in my music as well. I also like to have an awesome time. Like, I like to have a good time, period. I like to entertain. But to getting back to it, man, faith is everything, man. That's why I'm still doing it, you know what I mean? Because in music, you know, you may not have guarantees. You have to have commitment. You have to do it because you love it. You know what I mean? Because if you're just doing it for money, you might not ever make money. So you have to have something that's going to keep you grounded, you know, and that's been my favorite. You're married and you're a father of 3 kids. How do you create music and find the time to actually be a family guy, you know, be a father and a husband?
You know, yeah, that right there, man, is something, you know, I have to juggle, to be honest. It can be tough, you know, because, like I said, this particular career, it takes commitment, it takes a lot of time, but, I find the time to do it, man, by God's grace. My wife will check me, my kids will check me if I'm like, too far gone, or too busy. I try not to ever be too busy. I just have to schedule my time out, and make time for them.
And if you guys are just tuning in, we are speaking to the one and only M.A.R.K Universe. He's doing his thing, and he's telling us about life. He's telling about how he's balancing faith and music and family. So let's dig into that a little bit deeper, Mr. Universe, or should I just say M.A.R.K Universe, or should I say M.A.R.K? Which one do you prefer?
Either one, man. It's cool.
All right, so M.A.R.K, man, tell us. Let's get back into that faith and family. What are some of the challenges that you face trying to get to the next level as a music producer?
One of the challenges I would say would be, like I said, it's time. Time would be the number one thing. I feel like time is the greatest asset that we have. And what I mean by that is, if I know you say I believe I'm a super producer, but before any big checks ever came in, I had to work a regular job because I wasn't going to be a dope boy or anything like that and make some dumb decisions and get locked up or something. So I had to work a 9 to 5, and it was almost like I had two jobs, so I had to do both and try to just fit it in, even though I know what my heart was. My heart was in making sure that my family's taken care of and I be able to express my art. So, and that was something that was tough. That's why, if you look at my discography, it was so much time in between my projects because, I had to take a step back. Today is like almost the future. It's the beginning of the future. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is, man, I think I said in one of my lyrics, today the future, tomorrow's like another month. That's how I kind of picture things. I'm like, man, because my time was just flying and I'm losing all this time and I'm not working on what I love to do. And I'm like, my life is passing by my eyes and I'm not getting out what the art that's in my heart, And I just, I took a step of faith, man. Like, I had to quit my job. You might see one of my videos. I did a video called Out of Space, and you'll see, like, a boss, like, just going off on me. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I just got up and left. You know what I mean? And that's how I really did in life. I couldn't I'm not going to let anything steal my joy. Anything, anybody. You know what I mean? If you don't have peace with something no more, man, and you can't function, you got to take that step. You got to make a move. I feel like I'm doing what I need to do and things are working for me. Things are working a lot better. I would consider myself more of a rapper and an artist than a producer. Producing is something that I just did because I was waiting on too many people. I was waiting on the right producer, the right engineer, the right, everything before I decided to release anything. And like I said, looking back, too much time was going by in between it. So I decided to start investing in, production programs, MPC, studio equipment, all that, so I could do it myself. So I don't have any excuses, have my own studio in my house, you know what I'm saying? And so now it's just like, it's all about just making sure I manage my time properly.
What's some of the things that you see in the music industry from your perspective?
There's so much I see. One thing I see is a lot of potential for growth. Nowadays, it's so many platforms for people to be heard, and it's become easier and it's kind of leveled the playing field. That's one of the things, like, you see an influx of artists that aren't signed, making a name for themselves, which is, in this day and age is awesome. Besides that, I'm the type of person, I respect everyone, regardless of my faith. I respect their art. You know what I mean? I don't look at one artist and say, oh, this is the best rapper, because in my opinion, it's a place for each type of music. Like as much as I enjoy people like J. Cole or Kendrick, some of those artists, it's a different mood. Like some moods, you have to have somebody like Migos or something. Like, you have to have them too. So I can't say that they are the worst rapper or anything like that. But I see some good things. Like I said, I just enjoy music. I enjoy all types of music.
And growing up, what was some of the artists that you liked listening to and why?
Man, most of the time I like listening to them, to be honest, was because of my peers. But I would say who I had on repeat would probably be like, to be honest, would be like Eminem. I like Lil Wayne and people like that, man. Who else? DMX, Gyro, Outkast, man, T.I., Luda. The list goes on and on.
As far as how you market yourself, because like you said before, there's so many platforms for music artists and producers and just business owners and, entrepreneurs. What's some of your things that you practice when you're marketing yourself as a brand?
All right, so there's so many levels of that. If you don't have a budget, like to get a publicist or, invest in somebody else to run your campaign, you obviously don't want to start with social media. You know what I mean? I think that's pretty much a no-brainer. But I would also say anybody should also get their own website, because when social media drops, like for example, I had a lot of friends or whatever on MySpace. You know what I'm saying? I pretty much lost a lot of my contacts from that. You know what I mean? But I moved over to Twitter and stuff like that. But I would definitely say invest in your own website, and whatever you do, get out there in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like, get out there and let people know you do what you do, even if it's just your coworkers and friends, whoever. Let people know what you do. Be great at what you do, and when you have an opportunity to be supported, make sure you don't be afraid to ask them for your support. You know what I'm saying? Whether that's financially or just showing up to an event.
As far as networking, in public events and stuff, how do you get that going? Do you have a team of people that keep you busy and stuff, or do you actually go yourself and find places to go?
It depends, man. Like, the great thing about doing something anyway is, like, once you get the ball rolling, it's like pushing a car. It's kind of hard at first, but then once it starts moving, it's moving, and other people start, coming along and see that you need help, or see that you're doing something, so they want to get on there too. And if it's a good fit, it works. So for me, it's been both. I've been doing it a lot myself. I still do most of the things I do. I do it myself, or I find it. But like, I just had a show on February the 10th. And after I did that show, I had to kind of find that, for myself. But after I did that, more opportunities came, They invited me back, They said they were going to pay me twice as much if I could come. But I haven't confirmed it yet. But I'm just saying stuff like that. And then, like I said, it's a little bit both.
And speaking of shows, and once again, if you just now tuned in, we are talking to M.A.R.K Universe, the rapper, the one he had to make his own beats because he was tired waiting for all these other producers trying to, get him to the next level. He's a self-made guy. So let's tap into the shows, man.
Yeah, man.
What was the first time you performed on stage? How was that experience?
Man, that experience is like I love performing because I get to see reactions. And a lot of times, this is when people may not know my music. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, like, especially like open mics, I've done all that. But the first time, I don't even remember, man, but I can remember the most significant time, which was like in the beginning, would have been at what they had was the Black Arts Festival in Huntsville, Alabama. It was a whole bunch of people there. Like, it was a huge festival in Alabama. Then you had to register for certain stages, and I was registered for one stage, a smaller stage. But then they said, hey, man, would you like to perform on the main stage? I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I can't turn that down. So did that and rocked it. Be great at stuff. Man, people will come, they'll support it.
And I ask this a lot to people who come on the show. What does success mean to you if you had to define it yourself? In your own words.
If I had to define success, I would say doing what you were called to do by God. You know what I mean? Because everybody may not be called to be, you know, a billionaire or a millionaire or a huge CEO. Everybody can't be. It has to be people that's playing their part. So when you playing your part and you have peace in your heart, I feel like you're a success. You know, and I don't define it by money, and I can't define it by status either. You know what I mean? Because I feel like that's the problem. People chasing status, you know what I mean, to get success, and they missing it, and they wondering why it's not working. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's how I would define it.
When you see a lot of these big names right now, I mean, everybody already know. You know, you got DJ Khaled, you got P. Diddy right now. They just did a show on Fox. You know, what's some of the things that you try to learn from these other people in the music industry, or do you have another source?
One thing I learned from them is they are pretty consistent, you know what I mean? Like, which I think is dope. And I know they probably have a team of people that work with them. What I mean by that is they're consistent with everything, like from their look, from their energy. Like when I think of DJ Khaled, I just think of energy, like everywhere he goes, yeah, you know what I'm saying? We the best. He's like that all the time. I don't know if that's really him. I believe that may be really him. I'm just saying, you know, they branded themselves for something. They're consistent. They look the same when you see them in person. They look like them. They look like, you know, they look the part. So that's something I try to model myself at too. You know what I mean? If I take some pictures or something and, you know, I post them everywhere when I go to perform or, you know, anywhere, like somewhere in public where they don't see me, I try to match those pictures, you know.
The reason why I ask is because we've been having discussions on and off air about, you know, how everybody has the same 24 hours, you know, like it's all about how you spend your minutes. And there's nothing wrong looking at successful people because, you know, having the faith background, how you keep that balance where you still keep God in your life, but you still stay hungry. How do you keep that balance?
Man,
you still got to eat, right?
Oh, definitely still have to eat. Definitely still have to eat. Well, I mean, that's a good question. I think, like, I look at myself like Joseph from the Bible, you know what I mean? The one that had to go through so much in life to get there. And he didn't give up because God gave him a dream, you know what I'm saying? And he believed it. When he had that dream, he never stopped. He didn't care that he got thrown into jail, got sold into slavery, all this stuff. And at the end of the day, it worked out. You know what I mean? And that's kind of how I look at things. You know, I done been through a lot on my process, but I have an overall big picture, a dream that I had, and I see it. And it's real to me. And things that, you know, that come in between the time for me getting where I want to be, it's like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? This is nothing compared to what I believe. You know what I mean? So that's what keeps me hungry.
If you're just now tuning in, we are talking to M.A.R.K Universe, and man, his vision sounds like a big, gigantic universe out there, man. I like how you said the whole part of you pictured it, like you saw that picture, because, you know, too many people go through life and they don't know their purpose, they don't know their passion, and that's this platform for this show is, you know, people like you who they made up in their mind what they want to do in life. And you're not just doing it, you're seeing results. What's some of the things you would say to people who might feel like they stuck?
Man, you're not stuck. I mean, you're not stuck. But sometimes, first of all, I don't believe people can really be stuck. Sometimes I think that if you may have that feeling because you may need to do something, but you're not stuck. You know what I mean? Stuck is a choice. You know what I mean? I think that's a choice. You know, you don't have to do that. You don't have to be anywhere, especially when it comes to, like, if you feel like you're locked down in this particular position, you know, you have to be in certain circumstances. You're only there for a moment. You know what I'm saying? You have to make the most of it, however that may be.
Man, that's a different answer. I like the answer. That's pretty good, man. That was pretty smooth right there. I just watched a video not too long ago. It was actually Art Williams. He had this video on YouTube, like a old video from like late 90s, and his speech was just do it, you know, because he was telling the audience, you know, people say, you know, hey Art, you know, I'm trying to be a millionaire. He would just say, you know, just do it, you know. And someone would say, well, hey Mark, you know, I'm a vice president, can I stop working? You know, he's like, no, keep going doing it. You know. And I love the speech because it's kind of matching with your attitude and your tone with your answers on the show. Like, just get out there, you know. Who's to say that you're stuck? Like, you're choosing yourself to be stuck. No one's forcing you to be stuck, but you're actually making that choice. So
yeah, it is.
Here's a question. How does your wife inspire you?
Man, she was one that believed that, you know, in my dream in the beginning, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I had other relationships before her, and when I told them, I would, you know, try to share it with them. And they was just like, man, we done. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know, this not going to happen. And, you know, she believed in me and supported me, you know, not just with her words, but just showing it. So, and that was motivation, you know, to keep going, even when I may have felt like, yo, I don't feel like it, you know what I mean? So.
That's real. Yeah. Man, that's going right back to Art, man. Just do it, you know. Because also, one more little quickie from his video, one point I want to say, he was talking about how the difference between someone who's making $50,000 versus someone who's making $500,000. He said they're just doing it, you know. You know, they're doing what they got to do to get it done. Versus, oh man, I'm gonna settle because I'm not worth this, so I'm not worth doing that. I can't do this, I can't do that. What would you say to that music artist who feels like they're in their own way? Maybe they're just not making that progress that they want to make.
Man, with that, it's all about sacrifice. You know what I'm saying?
So no microwave success.
I definitely don't. I wouldn't even let anybody think that, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause that's like selling them a dream. You know, it works like, I don't even know if it works like that for the people they say it works like that for. Because some of these artists that make it, man, these people have had some development deal that you didn't even know about. And they try to make it look grassroots, like you know what I'm saying? But some of these people, you think they just came out of nowhere. And they may have, you know what I mean? But, you know, I would just say you can see your way out of things if you really, really sit there and think about what decision do I need to make. You can see it. You know what I mean? Sometimes it does take time. You might have to work a job and save little by little and put it towards something like some studio time or something. But one thing I know nowadays, information is pretty much free. It's all about your desire and your passion. I feel like if somebody's really passionate about something, they're going to figure out a way to make it happen. You know what I mean? And not let themselves get in the way. But I get it, man. You know, everybody needs some motivation at times. But, you know what I mean? We can motivate you all we want, you know what I'm saying? But you have to make that choice that you're going to take the action.
And that's the key right there. Action. Action is what makes everything. Like,
it does.
Without the person taking in the action that's necessary to get to the next level, you know, you almost got to question what's so big about the levels. Because it's the same.
Another thing, my fault.
No.
You're right.
You good?
I just wanted to say this real quick because I want people to know, like, it's not just about action. It's about knowing what to act on. And I think that's what people may why they feel stuck, because they don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? They want to take action, but they don't know what action to take. So my first recommendation to anybody, if they can, seek consultation. Some people charge for it. Some people will give it to them for free. I mean, you know, you never know. Reach out to these people on social media. Reach out so you can get some answer on what you need to be doing if you're really serious. You know, to be honest, I've done that. and it works, they respond. You know what I mean? Follow these people on social media. Man, I have a homeboy. He's a graphic designer. He just did some graphics for like Genuine and other artists, a bunch of people. Man, he did independent movies, all that, from just reaching out to him. Hey, I do graphics. Here, check this out, and just give it to him. Here's a sample. Do you like it? Can you use it? You know what I'm saying? And they reach back out to him. It works. You start getting different placements and all that. So I'm just saying, that's one option.
And let's touch on that. Maybe someone's listening, they're the music artists, and they're like, well, man, how do you get these breaks? And I know you're going to say about action and, you know, finding your specific niche and your fingerprint, you know, knowing who you are. Because if you don't know who you are, you're going to end up anywhere on the map. Like, anybody can tell you something. You just listen because you don't even know yourself. What would you tell someone who, you know, they're ready to go that next level, but they just need that extra focus on who they are? What will you speak on that to that person?
I'm a believer, so I'm a man of faith, man. You know what I mean? I feel like that's the foundation. You can't build if you don't have a foundation. So you have to go to what I believe. You have to go to God about it. You have to. What I mean by that, you have to get born again. I believe that you have to accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior, and then you can build on that. Man, people in churches, and you know, that community are, you know, it's a community built on people that have real life experiences and being able to implement God in their life. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just about listening to somebody preach. It's about gaining wisdom on real life on how to implement it. So I would recommend that they go there to find themselves. You know what I'm saying? That's what I did. You know, and I can speak to how I was able to develop my foundation to get the confidence to be able to do something like and go after something like what I'm doing now.
And how have people reacted to you and your faith? Is it something they just witness and they ask you questions, or do you have the time to actually share what you believe?
Man, it just depends, man. Like, you know, and that's something I wanted to kind of touch on. I don't know if I can do it with you or not, but you know, as I'm a rapper, you know what I'm saying? I don't consider myself a gospel rapper or a Christian rapper because I just rap, you know what I'm saying? And the thing is, people don't really ask me that because they may not always know, you know what I mean? They may not know. That's why I wanted to do an interview, so I can be able to tell people so they can know. It's more to it's more to the meaning behind my lyrics if you really listen. You know what I mean? It all goes back to my faith.
I like what you're saying about your faith and how people will just know, and you want to use this platform to let people know that it's more than just you rapping. Right,
it is. They don't know, and some people, they do. And those people that do, they're inspired. They just don't know why. They just listen to my music and may like it and not know why. You know what I'm saying? You know, but, you know, I just want to share some light, have a good time, you know, do my part. You know what I mean, and help other people.
And when people hear your name, M.A.R.K Universe, and they find out M.A.R.K, it stands for May a Righteous King, what's the reaction?
And they're like, man, it's deep. A lot of people are like, man, it's deep, man. You know, and then I'm like, yeah, you know, that's how I feel. I feel like everybody is a righteous king or queen in their own right. You know, if they're a believer, you know, because too many times I beat myself up thinking I was, you know, a lot of guilt trip on myself, you know what I mean, for the things I did that I knew weren't right. You know what I mean? So M.A.R.K was kind of like I said, it's like a confession or an affirmation over myself. Like, man, I'm made a righteous king. You know what I'm saying? I'm not who I used to be. Like, I'm like the podcast name, I'm refocused. You know what I'm saying? I'm changed. So, yeah.
And when it comes to your music, your songs, when you're on stage, what's the number one thing you want to leave the audience with?
Man, Faith in My Heart. You know, I just did a performance like a couple weeks ago, and that's the song. I'd have a song called Faith in My Heart. Hopefully, you know, I want you to play it.
Oh yeah.
But I want them to leave with that, because, like I said, that's the foundation. You know what I'm saying? And I need people to know that. You know what I mean?
You guys, man, time is always, just like it always is when we're on this podcast, the minutes just keep burning. It never stops. It's like, man, it's like we just started like 2 minutes ago. That's crazy. But, man, who you want to give a shout out to?
I wish I would have thought about this. I'd like to shout out everybody that ever supported me. Everybody that ever supported me, man. I'd like to shout you out for having me on the show. My family, my wife, my mom, my kids, man. It's a guy named Ryan Barry, man. I'd like to shout him out. He definitely was one of the people that helped me stay focused and be able to, you know, continue to work on my dream. Man, the list is so long, man. I can't even do it right now.
No, it's all good, because you covered.
Thanks, everybody.
You covered when you say everybody, man. That's what's up. Now, tell people how they can stay in connection with you, and, you know, your website, social media.
Okay. You can find me on markuniverse.com. That's M.A.R.K Universe, UNIVERSE.com. That's the best way to keep in touch with me. Matter of fact, if you listen to this, that's markuniverse.com. Anywhere else on social media, on Mark Universe everywhere. No, just no space. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Mark Universe.
Well, guys, there you got it. Mr. M.A.R.K Universe, the one and only, man. That's really cool about how your life has evolved with this music thing, and how you kept God first, but you still, you know, you're putting your gift out there for the world to appreciate, and that's what's up. This was a real talk moment and a really good show, man. I appreciate you being on the show, man.
Hey, no problem. Thank you.
And guys, I never want to close the show out without thanking my sponsors, the one and only, the main partner, man, Rico Rodriguez with Rockefeller's Barbershop, and Miss Kim with River City Donuts, Baby McClinton, All Sports Speed and Conditioning, and our new sponsor, D.W. Brooks Funeral Home. Like I always say, keep God first, stay focused, and peace.
Set apart from all distraction, I do my part, and I expect a good reaction. Faith in my heart, now it's time to gain some traction. Pick up some speed, 0 to 100. You gotta know it ain't all about money. Sometimes I believe things I never share, because people compare, some people don't care. And that's kinda unsettling, but I'm responsible for myself. Anything less is negligent. I know how my time spent. I know God provides this fresh off my back. That gives you choices to unpack. So since I have it, I'ma use it. It's like beautiful music in my mind, gives me peace divine. Just wanna light up my world, so I have to let it shine. How much faith does it take to be free? Said I don't wanna force nobody. Faith in my heart, and faith in my heart, Light in the dark, see light in the dark, So faith in your heart, that's where it starts, For you to be free. It's something that some of the richest people can't beat. Oh, it's free, but can you afford it? It's something earned and awarded. Daily, my vision, I move towards it. It's like I'm in space, I'm in orbit. Gotta do it yourself, they can't forge it. Without action, faith is not as important. That's why I go for it. Build up confidence. Everybody wants success, but what's your definition? If it's just money and fame and crush the competition, then you should change your vision. Success to me is meeting goals and using wisdom, and really putting God in the center. This is the life of a boss, heart of a winner.